In 2023, the NFL lost some of its brightest lights. We remember.
You've got to have that something extra because all week you're driving and you're working on fundamentals, and that's going to come naturally, but you've got to get your body to do things. Your body might be called to do something extra, and if you don't have it within yourself, you don't believe you can do it, you're not going to do it.
His 9-year career stands apart as the single most sustained work of devastation ever wrought on a football field by anyone, anywhere. 6 times an All-Pro, he was twice voted the Defensive Player of the Year by his peers. No one ever controlled a game like the all-time monster of the Midway.
I just took the attitude that, look, this is a violent game. If I was an animal jerk-ass or whatever, I didn't care.
Dick Butkus took pride in his bloody knuckles. Russ Francis in his soft hands. His acrobatic catches took him to 3 Pro Bowls. But it was the advice he took from a sportscaster that saved his career.
I'll never forget the words. He said to me, and I can hear him today, he said, "Get tough or get out. Click."
No one was tougher than Bud Grant, a taskmaster and tactician without equal, who took the Vikings to 4 Super Bowls and made a father proud.
And if my father was here, he'd say, "The kid made it. He finally made it."
Joe Kapp was the quarterback for the Vikings' first Super Bowl team. Legendary for his toughness, improvisation, and refusal to accept personal awards.
There is no most valuable Viking. There are only 40 most valuable Vikings. I just can't accept this. Thank you.
Frank Wycheck couldn't accept defeat, so he conjured a miracle.
Kicks it high and short. Going to be fielded by Lorenzo Neal at the 25. Pitches it back to Wycheck. He throws it across the field to Dyson.
He's got something. He's got something.
50.
He's got it.
40.
He's got it. He's got it.
Touchdown Titans. It's a miracle. Tennessee has pulled a miracle. A miracle.
Bobby Beathard had the soul of a surfer and the mind of a mathematician. Serving as an NFL executive and GM, he took 3 different franchises to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Bobby. You did it, Bobby. God, you did it, Bobby.
Gil Brandt made it to Canton by embracing computers and transforming the game from the front office.
We were about 10 years ahead of anybody else. What we did is we had 5 characteristics, and then we weighted each one of them from 9 to 1.
So if the coach came to me this afternoon and said, I have to have a tap back by tomorrow, would you go to the computer?
Yes, we would.
No computer needed to see what Walt Garrison was made of. Pure guts. A rugged runner, he was the perfect cowboy, literally. Why sweat a linebacker if you can take on a 650-pound steer?
They say that they define, a threshold of pain. Some people's is low, some is high, and evidently mine is high.
Otis Taylor reached the heights twice as an All-Pro and led the NFL in receiving yards. Teammate Ed Budd made the All-AFL team and helped the Chiefs win Super Bowl IV as the lead blocker on one of football's most iconic plays.
65 horsepower trap. That might pop wide open, Rats.
Running play coming to Garrett on a trap. Touchdown! Chiefs are the world champions!
Norma Hunt celebrated that title. The wife of Chiefs owner Lamar Hunt, she was the first lady of Kansas City football for more than 60 years.
It was our good fortune.
The Packers were lucky to have center Ken Bowman, who helped them to 3 consecutive NFL titles and led the way for John Brockington, the first NFL player to ever run for more than 1,000 yards in each of his first 3 seasons. Charles White knew all about great years, winning a Heisman and NFL Comeback Player of the Year. We lost the soft hands of Sean Dawkins and Homer Jones, a dynamic deep threat who invented the spike for a pretty good reason.
Well, I'd always said the first touchdown that I ever made, I was going to throw the ball in the stands. I had forgotten that they had changed the rules on the off season, that I think it was a $500 fine for throwing the ball in the stands. And as I crossed the goal line, I thought about that $500 and it came down, I threw it on the ground.
Vince Tobin threw out the history books as the Cardinals head coach by achieving something rarer than desert rain.
First playoff win in 50 years. As long as
We'll miss Frank LeMaster's short tackles, Maxie Vaughn's hard hits, and Dave Wilcox's fearsome style, which belied the Hall of Famer's gentle nature.
To be a Hall of Fame guy, I guess you have to have done something right.
Art McNally knew right from wrong. The director of officiating for nearly 25 years, he instituted video replay to get the call right and is the only official enshrined in the Hall of Fame. Conrad Dobler didn't have much time for officials or rules, reveling instead in his reputation as the league's dirtiest player.
I wanted him to think so much about what I might do to him that he wasn't thinking about what he should do to be successful. I actually missed blocks, and my man never made the tackle because he was spending time kicking me.
Jim Turner rarely missed his kicks. When he retired, he was second in all-time field goals made. Bob Boomer Brown didn't make many friends on the field, but he did make it to Canton, fueled by ferocious desire.
I brought my super aggressive DEFCON 5 style, the desire to win, the need to be the best.
The best ever? Many think it was Jim Brown. Unstoppable as a runner, he led the league in rushing 8 times in a Hall of Fame career powered by something greater than the game of football.
And I'll tell you why I'm the way that I am. I was dealing with race since I was born. And in my inner self, my strength was unbending when it came to accepting that BS, racial discrimination. And that was the battle that raged. And I could use a lot of that on the field. I was never gonna let anybody make me feel that I was not top shelf.